Hey, welcome to the third eye, baby. If you don't know who I am, it is I. I am your boy Indigo Saint. You're here live on the third eye, and you can check your time with my time. It is officially, hold on. It's officially 8:58 on the Tuesday, the 2nd of July, and yeah, man, a lot of dope things have happened this past week. And then I'm saying we had like the whole BET Awards thing, that happened. It's kind of a little disappointed with the hip hop representation from my continent. That sucked. It sucked. I mean, not everyone was bad. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone was bad, right? Blackie was kind of good. You know what I'm saying? Common was good as well. I know he's not from here, but Common was good. It would have been nice to hear him rapping over a beat or whatever, But yeah, that's what happened. Focalistic was terrible. Focalistic was terrible, but we move on. We move on. I'm just saying, I never know who's listening, right? So if you're from BET and you're kind of looking for like a dope rapper or whatever, I'm here. Ready to rap all the time. But yeah, anyway, that happened. I didn't even watch the full awards, man. Like these days with like everything that's happened, with X and Instagram and TikTok, you kind of like watch these entire shows, on social media. So at least the highlights of them, right? Other Taraji was dope, with Not Like Us rendition. I thought that was really, really cool. What else? What else happened? Yeah, I guess that was kind of like the highlight as far as entertainment is concerned. Kind of feel like that's like the most that happened. I don't know if there's something else that I missed, but yeah. On our side though, as people who like finding out about projects and learning about projects, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the crypto stuff is kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of looking up. Just want to give a quick shout out to Maximus Crypto, Underdog Research, Black Roo, Shook Focus. If you're not already, highly recommend you go and you check out their channels. Go and check out their videos, watch their researched videos, make an informed decision on what project you're gonna invest in next, right? We're all looking forward to the second part of the Metapod research, with Swiftcoin. I thought it was really dope, man. I thought it was really, really cool. And I'm glad to see Underdog going live, finally, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's been a while. Let me not say finally, because he has done it in the past, but it has been a while, you know what I mean? Besides the one that he did before, the part 2, obviously. Lots of like takeaways, lots of highlights in there. Lots of exciting stuff, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we do. I know you guys are listening on YouTube. I know if you're listening on YouTube, if you're watching, listening on YouTube or listening on Spotify, what you don't know is that I'm doing a live currently as well on my Instagram. So maybe later on, sometime later this month, what I'll do is I'll sync the times so that you can actually watch me do this live on Instagram. And then all my Instagram folk can ask me questions. I see your Nate's in the chat. What's poppin', brother? I can't lie, I've been asking for a verse for years, but yeah, you have, and you know what? I'll let you down. I'm a rectify that situation real quick. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up and then, hit me up and then we'll figure something out. But yeah, welcome to the third eye. You guys didn't know that I do this, Instagram people didn't know that I do this. Surprise! This is what I get up to in my spare time. You know what I'm saying? Just having conversations around crypto, finance, music business, whatever I'm kind of feeling like talking about on the day. And today, if you don't know this, I've been doing this thing. It's called 75 Hard, right? And the thing about 75 Hard is like it's a 75-day challenge. And in the challenge, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to have 2 different workout routines. You're supposed to follow a strict diet. You're supposed to drink a waterfall amount of water, about like 4 liters. That's about 3.5 gallons for all my people in the States. and what else? And you're supposed to read. You're supposed to read a non-fiction book, and what I've been reading is this book. It's called The Psychology of Money by Morgan. Oh, I'm gonna butcher his surname. Housel. It's Housel. If you wanna look that up, I'm sure you can find an audiobook on YouTube or Kindle or wherever it is that you listen to your audiobooks. But yeah, man, I dedicated a certain amount of what I've been earning into books. You know what I mean? I figured if I'm gonna be trying to get my body right, you know what I'm saying, following a diet, you know, restricting my alcohol intake, I might as well also, you know what I'm saying, learn some stuff, you know? I might as well learn some stuff. So today, I'm going to share a little story about my own personal finances as far as from when I started my crypto journey, yeah? I know when I say crypto, I know some people feel a way. You know what I'm saying? Some people might feel a way or whatever. So, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I am here today because of certain investments that I put into crypto, and that's what it was. At the end of the day, it was investments. You know, it was opportunities that I saw, opportunities that I took. You know, being very brave with what was a little bit of money. You know, what right now seems like a little bit of money, but to me was my entirety of wealth, you know, of everything that I'd saved up, you know, and I owe a lot of it, really, to be honest, I owe a lot of it to Underdog Research, because I was looking at the projects, I found his channel and I started looking at the projects that he was talking about, and that set me up. So let me tell you the story real quick. So what had happened was, this must have been 2021, right? 2021, you know, NFT stuff is popping, NFTs are booming. You know, I'm on the internet, you know, researching, trying to find ways in which, you know, I could make a bag from my music, you know. And I mean, like, streaming money is okay if you're getting like 1 billion streams. You know, streaming money is great, right? But the reality of it is that, like, for a lot of artists, much like myself, we don't really ever hit those, you know, those numbers, those metrics, you know, for you to be able to make. It's a little crazy for me in that, like, you know, you get 1 million streams and like you get like between 4 and 6K, of which $4,000 to $6,000 is a lot of money, if you know what I'm saying, if I'm to keep it a buck. But the reality of it is that, like, it's so disproportionate, you know. And at the time, I wasn't nearly as close. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even like hitting that many streams. You know what I'm saying? Still haven't. You know, or that many monthly listeners. So what I started looking at NFTs, trying to figure out a way in which, like, I could actually, you know, make my music sustainable. And yeah, and so, you know, I started looking into NFTs, made my first couple of NFTs, sold my first couple of NFTs, made a bag. You know what I'm saying? Made a bag from like one song. I remember I sold one song. The first NFT that I sold for about $25, and then I sold the second NFT and it went for about the same price, and I sold the third, and I just kept on. You know what I'm saying? Just kept on selling those NFTs. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do the most. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do the most. Trying to level up, basically. You know what I mean? And yeah, and was it great? Absolutely. It was a fantastic time. And now what happened after that is, now because I was involved in the crypto space, right? And the money that I was making from the NFTs was obviously in crypto, you know, in a particular token. I had to start now thinking of ways in which, one, I could withdraw my money. Secondly, ways in which I could save my money. And third, ways in which I could reinvest what I was earning, right? Because I understood, I was like, okay, no, cool, like, you know, we're kind of in a bull market right now. You know, I had those concepts still, you know, but what I didn't fully have a grasp of, right, at the time, even though the principles of money that I had were kind of sound, you know, and I knew that I had to invest and I knew that I had to save, the one thing that I could never predict was the psychology that comes around making money, right? especially when it's new, especially when you come from not having money to then having a significant amount of money. And so what happened basically is like, I found Underdog's channel. At the time it was Underdog Crypto. I found his channel, started looking at the projects he was looking at, started investing in the projects he was looking at. And after I did that, like the first project that I looked at was Telcoin. And when I did that, bro, like I must have like 5x or 6x my money. And I went back to his channel, found his Twitter, went to Twitter, DM'd him, thanked him. I was like, bro, like I was, you know what I'm saying? I was in a pretty bad place. And it was all gratitude. I didn't know that like me having a conversation with him that day was gonna start a relationship that, you know, has led me to even like doing this podcast in the first place. And also that's given me access to every one of you who's listening right now. You know what I mean? So that's something that happened and something that I'm like super, super grateful for. But again, as I was saying, like the one thing that I underestimated was, well, let me not say underestimated, just I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know. This was 3 years ago. I was like, what? I was 28, turning 29. I didn't know how important the psychology surrounding money is, you know. So this is the story bit. That was just the introduction. That would be the chapter 1 in the book. And so now, because I haven't had a bag, I haven't had money in so long, you know what I mean? And I'm going from, you know, a couple bucks here and there, you know, $20-$30 to, you know, a couple of $100. You know what I'm saying? Soon to a couple thousand. You know what I mean? But there was so much that I had to compensate for, you know, with my background, coming from the family that I come from, coming from, you know, the part of the world where I come from, you know, where, you know, people earn less than $333, you know, monthly. And that's a lot in a way. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of money, you know, if you're coming from like here. But then like, you know, but truly like the average salary is like around about like $160, $150, you know what I'm saying? And now all of a sudden I'm in a space and it's like, damn, bro, like I'm like making a couple thousand now. You know, I'm making a couple of thousand. There was like so many things that as I was saying prior that I had to compensate for. You know, I had to compensate for the fact that I had been broke pretty much all my life. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So the boy had a ball. You know what I'm saying? The boy had a ball. You know, and I made sure everything that I hadn't done in the past, everything that I wasn't able to do, I went and I did it. You know, bought myself, you know, a couple pairs of shoes. You know what I'm saying? You know, upgraded the wardrobe. You know what I mean? What else did I do? You know, upgrading gadgets, going out, you know, spending money on things that I didn't need at the time. But then because, again, we're in a bull market, it was like every time I'd spend the money, everything that I still had in the market, you know, with everything that I had in the market, I still make it back. You know, so it was like, oh, okay, so it's cool. So I guess I can spend like $250 today, because I know in like the next 3-4 days I'm gonna make $250 to $400 on a particular project, just because I'm still in it. Not even because like I'm reinvesting or whatever. No, but just because I'm still in it. You know, and that was the nature of the bull market at the time. You know what I mean? And very new, very confusing, fun, hella fun. You know what I mean? Hella fun. And you guys know it's 2024. The bull market didn't go on forever. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and I didn't have anything saved. You know, I didn't have anything saved. I didn't have anything for emergency. Probably like the biggest thing that happened was me, you know, there was a family emergency that I had to take care of. You know what I'm saying? Always gonna take care of the family. And so I did that. And once I did that, I was out of these projects completely, right? Out of these projects completely. No savings, nothing invested in anything, nada. No one's buying NFTs, no one's buying music, people are not holding their, people are not holding their tokens. And that was the situation that I was in, and after that, like, I had to find other ways, I had to find other means in which I could earn, right? Because again, it was that understanding that, like, okay, you know what, like, it's a bear market, and yeah, like, things are crashing, right? But then, quote unquote, crashing. But then I also understood that, like, what was happening is that, like, there was a discount on pretty much every project that I had been in, and I had to try make a bag. I had to try get something somehow from somewhere, and so I did that. I worked for a couple of crypto projects, a couple of NFT projects, that worked out for a little bit until it didn't. I started trading, but not, I started day trading, learning how to do Forex, lost so much money doing that, you know what I'm saying? But I took it as, oh, this is the price to pay. This is the price that I have to pay. This is my quote unquote tuition, And I was down bad, bro. I won't lie. I was down bad. I was down bad. But everything is cyclical, right? Everything is cyclical. So for all of the down moments that I had, it eventually came around. I eventually found my feet, found something that was a little stable. I was able to reinvest in some stuff. I was able to do some more work. Just trying to find a way in which, like, I could just get back on my feet. You know what I'm saying? And for my friends who know, you know what I'm saying? For my people who know, I've got like, when I'm saying I was down bad, bro. And I think one of the things that's like really underappreciated, especially as men, right? Especially as young men, is that like our sense of value lies so much in how much we earn, and maybe more so in our ability to be able to take care of, right? In our ability to provide, in our ability to be a sense of security. And all of that got stripped away from me. All of that got taken away from me. And it got taken away from me not by the markets. It got taken away from me because of my psychology. Because I didn't understand certain concepts of money. So this year, I decided, I was like, you know what, bro, I'm gonna read this year. I don't want to put this in front of the camera because I don't want that to be an advert because they ain't paying me for it. So I'm drinking a bottle of water. But yeah, I decided this year what I was gonna do was I was gonna invest in my mind, and I was gonna invest in reading. So the first book that I finished this year was Atomic Habits. There it is. I'm just putting the social proof on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Put it on Instagram, just showing my people on the gram. So I went through Atomic Habits, and then I did Think and Grow Rich, and I recently bought The Compound Effect. Oops. And the subtle art of not giving an hey. The subtle art of not giving an F. And the things that I've learned from Atomic Habits and Think and Grow Rich themselves, like just those two books, are so deep, and esoteric in a way, yes, absolutely. But just understanding like my own psyche, I think that's what it's given me access to, my own psychology, my own psyche, my own understanding of how I act, how I save, how I invest, how I spend, and yeah, and that's what kind of brings me to this point, which is I'm sure if you saw the title of the video is called The Psychology of Crypto. I'm not sure if I'm gonna call it the psychology of crypto or the psychology of the markets. I'll probably call it the psychology of the markets, but and I'm stealing that title from this book that I'm reading, which is The Psychology of Money. And I'm left with one chapter now. I've been reading a chapter a day. So I started this halfway through June, and I'm pretty much done with it now. I'm just left with this one chapter. But what really inspired me to come out and like do this episode this morning, especially, was this chapter, this penultimate chapter, just chapter 19. and the chapter is called All Together Now, and it's basically a summary of everything that's in the book, right? Besides chapter 20. And I just thought it was like really important for me to just come and share this, because I know it's applicable to a lot of people. I know some of the people who are watching on the gram right now, but also, to a lot of you who, listen to my podcast. I really appreciate you guys for coming out and supporting me. And I really want to be able to give you as much value as you give me, just from the fact that like we belong to the same community. So I'm gonna read this, and this is pretty much gonna conclude this episode. But you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd love to hear your own stories. But let me get to it. Okay, so this is chapter 19, and it says what we've learned about the psychology of your own money. So the first thing, go out of your way to find humility when things are going right, and forgiveness or compassion when they go wrong. Because it's never as good or as bad as it looks. The world is big and complex. Luck and risk are both real and hard to identify. Do so when judging both yourself and others. Respect the power of luck and risk, and you'll have a better chance of focusing on things you can actually control. You'll also have a better chance of finding the right role models. Second thing, less ego, more wealth. Saving money is the gap between your ego and your income, and wealth is what you don't see. So wealth is created by suppressing what you could buy today in order to have more stuff or more options in the future. No matter how much you earn, you'll never build wealth unless you can put a lid on how much fun you can have with your money right now, today. 3. Manage your money in a way that helps you sleep at night. That's different from saying you should aim to earn the highest returns or save a specific percentage of your income. Some people won't sleep well unless they are earning the highest returns. Others will only get a good rest if they're conservatively invested. To each their own. But the foundation of, does this help me sleep at night, is the best universal guidepost for all financial decisions. 4. If you want to do better as an investor, the single most powerful thing you can do is increase your time horizon. Time is the most powerful force in investing. It makes little things grow big and big mistakes fade away. It can't neutralize luck and risk, but it pushes results closer towards what people deserve. 5. Become okay with a lot of things going wrong. You can be wrong half the time and still make a fortune, because a small minority of things account for the majority of outcomes. No matter what you're doing with your money, you should be comfortable with a lot of stuff not working. That's just how the world is. So you should always measure, you should always measure how you've done by looking at your full portfolio rather than individual investments. It is fine to have a large chunk of poor investments and a few outstanding ones. That's usually the best case scenario. Judging how you've done by focusing on individual investments makes winners look more brilliant than they were, and losers appear more regrettable than they should. 6. Use money to gain control over your time. And I think this is my favorite one. Use money to gain control over your time, because not having control over your time is such a powerful and universal drag on happiness. The ability to do what you want when you want, with who you want, for as long as you want to, pays the highest dividend that exists in finance. 7. Be nicer and less flashy. No one is impressed with your possessions as much as you are. You might think you want a fancy car or a nice watch, but what you probably want is respect and admiration, and you're more likely to gain those things through kindness and humility than horsepower and chrome. 8. Save. Just save. You don't need a specific reason to save. It's great to save for a car, or down payment or a medical emergency, but saving for things that are impossible to predict or define is one of the best reasons to save. Everyone's life is a continuous chain of surprises. Savings that aren't earmarked for anything in particular is a hedge against life's inevitable ability to surprise the hell out of you at the worst possible moment. 9. Define the cost of success and be ready to pay it, because nothing worthwhile is free. And remember that most financial costs don't have visible price tags. Uncertainty, doubt, and regret are common costs in the finance world. They're often worth paying, but you have to view them as fees, a price worth paying to get something nice in exchange, rather than fines, a penalty you should avoid. 10. Worship room for error. A gap between what could happen in the future and what you need to happen in the future in order to do well is what gives you endurance. And endurance is what makes compounding magic over time. Room for error often looks like a conservative hedge, but if it keeps you in the game, it can pay for itself many times over. 11. Avoid the extreme ends of financial decisions. Everyone's goals and desires will change over time, and the more extreme your past decisions were, the more you may regret them as you evolve. 12. You should like risk because it pays off over time, but you should be paranoid of ruinous risk because it prevents you from taking future risks that will pay off over time. What's that? 12? 12. Define the game you're playing and make sure your actions are not being influenced by people playing a different game. 13. Respect the mess. Smart, informed, and reasonable people can disagree in finance because people have vastly different goals and desires. There's no single right answer, just the answer that works for you. You know, and I couldn't start my day without sharing that. And I just, you know, it just felt like something that was important. It just felt like something that was important to add into today's episode. You know, there's a lot of stuff in there that, you know, if you're here prior and you know, you heard like a bit of my story, there's a lot that's in there that I truly wish I knew at the time. You know, I have a friend who this man reads, you know what I mean? Like, he reads, and I wish I listened to him again. Like, you know, in hindsight, I wish I listened to him way back. You know what I'm saying? 4 or 5 years ago, he put me on to Think and Grow Rich, and part of the reason why I even have my own copy is because of him. You know, and it's that, like, you know, a lot of things when we look at them in hindsight, obviously it's like, oh yeah, maybe I should have, I could have, should have, would have, you know, but we're here now. You know, we're here now, and there's certain decisions that you're gonna have to take, you know, with your own money. There's certain decisions that you're gonna have to take with your own investments, whether you're saving. I know it seems impossible to save, but you know, I've been using this 10% rule, and literally, like, every amount of money that I get, I take any amount of money that I get, I take 10% out, and I just put it in an envelope. Yeah, oops, just grabbing it from the drawer. But yeah, I have like many envelopes like this, just showing people on ting. And and I just you know, every time I get a little bit of money, if it's $10, I'll take $1 out, I'll put it in the envelope, I'll seal it, and then I'll write on it, you know, 1/10 of what I earn is mine to keep. And then I just put that away, you know, and I you know, and I track my expenses now, you know, which I know, you know what I'm saying, it makes me, you know, it might make me seem a little old or odd or whatever, but I feel, you know, a lot more calm. I feel a lot happier. I feel a lot more composed. I'm less stressed. I'm less anxious. You know, I'm not as worried about tomorrow as I was, say, like, a year ago this time. You know, a year ago this time I was going through like the worst type of depression, and the reality of it is, like, I can't say why. You know, a big part of that was because I wasn't making money, bro. I wasn't making any money at all, so I was like stressed all the time. You know, and not only was I not making any money, I had nothing in my savings, I had nothing invested in anything. You know, everything was like pretty much doom and gloom. You know, but now that I'm here and I'm much older for it, and you know, and I'm a lot more disciplined, I believe, you know, I'm a lot more invested in learning about how to still be here, you know, how to still be here tomorrow, how to still be here, you know, a year from now, how to still be here 10 years from now. Because I know, you know, I watch, you know, I watch Underdog's videos, and I see your comments, you know, and I know there are people putting in stacks. I've done the calculations. I know the people putting in an immense amount of money into these projects. At least to me, it's like, it's life-changing amounts of money, you know what I mean? But I also do understand that, like, the only reason why you're there or well, let me not say only, but like one of the reasons why you're there is because you've been able to play the game, you know, as far back as maybe 2017. I know people who've been in this crypto thing since 2017. I know people who've been investing in stocks since 2012, you know, and the reason to a huge part of the reason to their success is because they've been able to play the game for a very long amount of time, you know, and I intend to be here forever, bro. I intend to be here forever. You know what I'm saying? One thing's for sure is that my music's gonna keep me alive a long time after I'm dead. But whilst I am still living, you know what I'm saying? I do intend on being very comfortable. You know, I do intend on being very comfortable, and I do intend on taking care of my people. So, yeah, that was the episode. That's what I wanted to share. Shout out to all my Instagram people who came and checked out, you know what I'm saying, what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? It's not hella early, but I mean it is early-ish. It's only what's the time now? 9:29. God damn, we've been going at this for like half an hour almost. Yeah. But I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in, you know what I'm saying, liking things, and you know, being here to come and support me, and yeah, and I hope some of what I shared was helpful. If you don't know, if you haven't already, please go and subscribe to my channel. It's called The Third Eye. It's on YouTube. You can check it out. We're putting some episodes on Spotify as well. How to do a little self-promotion. And if you haven't listened to my music yet, I highly suggest you go and do that. Yeah, really excited for some of the work that we're going to be putting out in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, conversation for another day. And yeah, conversation for another day, video for another live. But deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to finish this book today, just so that I can start on the next one. I'm going to be starting on the compound effect, so I'll let you guys know about that in the weeks to come. Let me know if this was helpful. Let me know what you're reading, if you're reading anything. Yeah, I'm a sponge. I'm a sponge. I'm just trying to learn as much as I can, and you know, a lot of you guys actually know way, you know, a lot of you guys know better than I do. You know, I'm still very young-ish. So, but yeah, but that's been the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, if you don't know who I am, my name is Indigo Saint, and where I come from, Batili. Intiko, yizinto, chovicho. Buji panzo liparala semayati numapapula isitudla yellow bone elimnyama Pro Max 25 iPhone 55 John Wick ongafio uhalando hlohla ngomlomo ngalekhahle liphora liyaphela issue. Danko, have a great day. Love.